Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conspiraseed. So I mentioned in my last video that I'm trying a little bit of a different editing style for last week's video and this week's video. If you like it, let me know in the comments below. Today we're going to be going over part 2 of tier 4 of the Disturbing Video Games Iceberg. If you liked the video, please remember to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today, and let's get into it. Nanishi no Game is, despite the name, actually a game. The game was published by Square Enix for the Nintendo DS in 2008 and has been released in Japan only. The game takes place in 2022 with the rumor about a nameless, cursed role-playing video game for the twin-screen TS handheld game system. The player takes the role of a college student in Tokyo. You begin playing the cursed game, which was sent to you by a classmate by the name of Odaka, who has also been absent recently. Odaka's girlfriend requests that we go to his apartment, where we discover that Odaka has mysteriously died by drowning with his TS in his hand. We find out that Odaka actually hadn't sent us the game, as he was trying to stop it from spreading. The next day, his girlfriend dies on the subway, as she played the game after him. The actual game itself has 2 different endings, depending on whether the player obtained all of the special items found within the game. If the player obtains every item, they will unlock the good ending, otherwise they receive the bad ending. With the good ending, the curse is broken and the nameless game fades away. The bad ending also has the nameless game fading away, but after the credits, it says transfer complete, implying that the curse has been transferred to someone else. Nocturne is a survival horror game set in the late 1920s and early 1930s, the Prohibition and Great Depression era. The game was released in 1999 and was developed by Terminal Reality. The player takes the part of The Stranger, an operative of a fictional American government secret organization known as Spook House, which was created by Teddy Roosevelt to fight monsters. The game starts out with The Stranger returning from his previous mission. He gets a new mission to infiltrate a small village in Germany to recover a relic that can grant every vampire who possesses it immunity to their vampiric weaknesses. The Stranger witnesses strange occurrences, such as vampires attacking and killing each other instead of working together. The game is a monster hunting game with scary visuals. There are 4 missions in the game in total, with the first being vampires, the second being zombies, the third is also zombies, but gangster zombies brought back by Al Capone, and the last mission is to help a former Spook House operative clear a graveyard of zombies and demons. While investigating the graveyard, the Stranger concludes that it was the former operative who summoned them. There's a twist in the epilogue where we find that people who helped create monsters are actually looking for the Stranger specifically, and everyone at Spook House HQ has been gruesomely mutilated. I'm not going to tell you why though, so you can play it for yourself if you're interested, or watch a Let's Play on YouTube. Chiller is, in my opinion, the most disturbing game on this list so far. It's a light gun arcade game released in 1986 by Exidy. An unlicensed port was also released for the NES in 1990 in the USA. You just used the same gun that you used for Duck Hunt, because that's a light gun arcade game, essentially. In the game, the player takes on the role of an unseen torturer who must maim, mutilate, and murder restrained NPCs in a variety of dungeon settings. A few of the NPCs in the game are able to fight back, and you must quickly kill them. The game consists of 4 main levels: the torture chamber, the rack room, the haunted house hallway, and the graveyard. If a high enough score is achieved after these levels, a bonus level is unlocked, which is just target practice, where objects traveling at high speeds must be shot. Between each level, a bonus score can be obtained by winning a slot machine game. The first 2 levels feature human NPCs restrained by medieval torture devices. The player must discover how to kill these characters in the shortest possible amount of time. You can shoot them, but the gun is inefficient, as shots only result in chunks of flesh being blown away, leaving the victims alive still. After the first 2 levels, the game transitions to a more traditional shooting game, and the player must kill paranormal creatures such as zombies, ghosts, and mummies. This game sold poorly in the United States simply because arcade owners refused to purchase it, and Exidy had to market it to third world countries. Modern reviewers often criticize the game for its senseless violence and encouraging the torture and murder of seemingly innocent people, as opposed to the player fighting enemies capable of defending themselves. I'm only showing the later 2 levels where you fight the zombies, ghosts, and mummies, as it's significantly less disturbing, but if you want to see everything, all the videos that I'm using are in the description below. Dujana is an art video game developed and published by Jack King Spooner, a Scottish indie game developer. The player controls Dujana, a Muslim woman that lives inside a fictional country in a magic, realist-styled world that's under the occupation of a foreign power. In the beginning of the game, the rest of her family is killed by one of the occupying armies of their country while they leave the house to bury the family hamster. Dujana travels throughout the area and talks with people while ruminating on her loss and trying to come to grips with what has happened to her family. Events in the game have randomized elements, which makes each playthrough a unique experience. Dujana travels the desert between locations via a giant robot. The player interacts with characters throughout the game and learns their stories, and is also able to play 6 different games within the game at an arcade in her hometown. The game itself is claymation style, and this style is the reason that I believe it's on the Disturbing Video Game Iceberg list, because it looks creepy as heck. It's available for $7 on Steam and has very positive reviews if you are interested. Cruelty Squad is a 2021 tactical first-person shooter developed and published by a Finnish indie studio. The player chooses their weaponry and equipment before starting each of the 19 missions within the game, and must travel through open sandbox-style levels to locate and neutralize targets. The game is set in a dystopian corporatocracy where corporations possess overwhelming influence over police and governmental affairs. Technological advances allow people to be resurrected after death, rendering much of humanity immortal and cheapening the perceived value of life. The plot revolves around the player character being discharged from the SEC death unit, when he receives a phone call from his handler, who offers him employment within the Cruelty Squad. He is tasked to kill a number of people who have drawn the wrath of the higher-ups. These people are anti-corporate politicians, cultists, rogue police officers, delinquent employees, and rival CEOs. There are 3 endings to the game, achieved by beating 3 different levels. They follow the same format of cutscenes featuring the player and cryptic abstract text. I'm not sure what exactly makes this game a disturbing game other than the dystopian future, but I feel like that's pretty average for media nowadays. Anyway, the game is on Steam and is available for $20 if you're interested. It has 97% positive reviews. That is the end of part 2, tier 4 of the Disturbing Video Games Iceberg. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments below. Again, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.